Hi, C. This is Matthew. Thank you for your donation. So, the enemy was trying to have a go at me and shut me down with this blueprint. But I've never been shut down before when it came to it, and I made myself a coffee and buckled down and listened, and I was able to get something. Uh, this may be short, but it's still got the essential points in it. Sometimes I can be really wordy with things, and sometimes I haven't got a lot to say. And so the first one is, and this is the most essential one, and this comes up on a number of people's blueprints, but it's like the most important thing. Uh, so the first point is a friend of God. God has called you to be His friend, and Abraham was His friend, and King David was His friend, and uh, it's not mentioned that many people in the Bible were God's friend, and uh, I sense that He wants you to be His friend. I sense that uh, you're going to grow in your relationship with God and become very intimate. And I would imagine that you reach a stage where He would share with you his secrets, and I imagine that he would share uh, precious revelations with you as his friend. And I've become a friend of God's, and it's a real privilege to become close to God and close to Jesus and close to the Holy Spirit. And it's a precious position, and one that God doesn't take lightly. And I don't believe that everyone becomes God's friend, and I don't do it in every blueprint. Not every blueprint has this. It's just probably about 1 in 20, 1 in 30, and so it's a major thing. Intimacy with God, intimacy with Jesus, like underpins so many other things. And yeah, uh, number two. Uh, Number two, a mentor. Jesus is calling you to be, well, he's going to call you to be a mentor for people. Uh, Another way you can say that is a spiritual mother. Um, uh, and I'm not sure if you are in that position at the moment, whether many people are coming to you. I know that church may be shut because of COVID, but I see uh, God raising you up to be like a spiritual mother for people, someone where people can grow in their faith and be mentored in their faith, uh, and you can act as a spiritual mother. Psalm 1:3, I was led to quote Um, and it says, "He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that brings forth its fruit in its season. His leaf shall not wither, and whatever he does shall prosper." And so this tree is like the tree of life, and I sense that you're going to become this sustenance, this place where people can come and be refreshed, and people can come for answers and be sustained. And the fruit that you produce in season is spiritual fruit, and it feeds people, and people can be sustained by that. And it takes a certain level of spiritual maturity to be a mentor, and uh, I don't actively mentor people, but you can say that with my 60 books that I am a mentor for many people. Many people are mentored by my writing, and many have confessed uh, that to me, that they are guided by me. Point number three, I sense this came out in your angel message too, that I was, your angel was directing you to getting the book Prophetic Evangelism Made Simple. And um, I sense that the Lord wants to mature you into being a prophet. Uh, Being prophetic is sometimes people think it's a big thing to be a prophet, and people have this allure around it, and they think that it's a tremendously big and important thing. But essentially, a prophet is a friend of God's, and they're just God's spokesperson. So I can see you developing and doing a lot of what I do. I can see you learning to give people prophetic words. I can see you uh, doing corporate words. I can see you ministering to people, and even doing forms of spiritual counseling with people. I haven't got that listed, but I can see you using the prophetic to reach people and open up things in people's lives, and help people process things. Um, so I can see you becoming prophetic, and I can see you growing into the office of prophet. And once again, uh, I don't want you to be concerned about that being something big. Uh, uh, Being a prophet is essentially speaking God's will and God's words to people, and it's pretty easy to hear God, and so to pass on His words is comes natural as He tells you to pass on His words. Um, Number four, I can see you becoming a teacher, and a Christian teacher, like myself. Very similar to me in some areas. I can see you. I don't think that you have started a blog. I see you starting a blog and cutting your teeth with writing, and see you posting the blog on Facebook and advertising it. I can see you writing a journal. I'm not sure if you maintain a journal, but I can see you doing a journal like Conversations with God. I've got a book, 3 books called Conversations with God, and I can see you doing uh, a conversation with God, and I can see you even publishing that as a book, one of your first books that you're going to publish. I see you doing a number of books for people. The blog probably doesn't suit publishing blog posts about specific things, and they don't carry a theme. But I can see you uh, uh, typing a conversation with God or a conversation with Jesus, and I can see you publishing that for people to have a look at an intimate journey with God. And I can see you teaching in books in the future. I'm not sure if you'll make videos and do YouTube like myself. Um, you may be a little private, a little more private than that. But I can see, I can see a teaching gift in you, and how you know you're a teacher is that you've always got hundreds of questions about scriptures and hundreds of questions, and you're constantly reading and constantly watching videos and trying to learn the answers to your questions. And as you get an answer to your question, you find that another 3 questions or multiple questions spring up once you've got the answer. So for 15 years, I had the question that who are these people that Jesus said, "Depart from me, I never knew you." I thought they were Christians that were in ministry. And once I found out the answer to that, I had other questions. And so, as a teacher, you'll always have questions. And as you get the answers to your questions, these are some of the subjects that you can teach on. Um, I the next point I got was a prayer warrior. Um, I can see you uh, being being someone who has a good prayer life, and I can see you almost running a website for the prophetic, but also having a point on the website where people can request prayer. I can sense that you may be not now, but I feel that you can grow into being an intercessor for people, interceding for a country, interceding for many things. And I sense that this intercessory prayer will come out of you having a strong friendship with God. And so I feel that God has called you, is going to call you up to be a prayer warrior, an intercessor. Um, the next point I've never had on a blueprint, and but I heard it very clearly. Um, so the next point is a friend of the friendless. I sense that you have an ability to see people without friends, people who aren't traveling too well, and people who would be missed by other people and overlooked by other people. I'm not sure what environment you travel in to find these people who need friends, but I sense that that on an individual basis, you can be a friend to the friendless. People who don't have good friends, and I sense that you can be a friend to them, and I sense that you have already done this in the past, reached out to people who haven't got friends, and yeah. Um, so that's pretty self-explanatory, that point, and it birthed out of being a friend of God's and birthed out of prophetic evangelism. I can see you speaking into people's lives and encouraging them. This one I've had a couple of times on blueprints. Um, I can see you being a person like a theologian, but don't let that put you off. I can see you becoming like a false teaching warner. I've got here someone who in their blog and in their teachings that they do, that you do investigations into false teachings that are being propagated, and you publish and you disseminate information about false teaching. It's not a person who has a whole ministry of heresy hunting. It's not a person who has a website calling out specific ministers of God and calling them false prophets and false teachers. Um, I get annoyed with people like that. I've come up and had been mentioned by sites like that. But I can see as you teach and as you share things, perhaps even in your journal with God, you discuss uh, teachings, erroneous teachings, teachings that are false, and you publish and you warn people about going down those tracks, like going down those rabbit holes of false teaching. And I see you bringing um, understanding to why someone would believe it, and why people are susceptible to that type of teaching, and even bringing the false teaching and then bringing the truth of the matter. So, universalism believes that everyone's going to be saved, and there's no hell, and even demons and Satan are going to be converted in the end. And you could write about how this comes from a good heart, and this comes from a person who wants a good ending, and a person who believes in the grace of God, and an understanding that God is a good God. And so eternal hell is something that's abhorrent to a person who believes in a good God. And you could give all sorts of understanding as to why someone would believe it. And I sense that if you do it right, you're going to save a few people from going down the teaching. You could even do a small book or an extensive book on the subject, false teaching people believe. Um, and the final one, I don't know the type of ministry that you'll be attached to, but I can see you uh, becoming like a ministry support, but working as a support assistant in ministry that may be just a few hours a week or something. I'm not sure if it's a full-time job, but I can see you being used as a support person for certain ministries, and uh, and so that's what I heard for you in your blueprint. So I hope that you're encouraged, and I hope this really means much to you, and I'd love to hear your feedback. God bless.